Good evening, Pretoria. Welcome to another episode of Sunday Night Gospel featuring myself, RoguePatton, and my best friend in Pretoria, Mondroid. What's going on, Mondroid?
The BFFs.
BFFs with more Fs if things go right.
Aw, yeah.
Oh my goodness. First time chat. We appreciate you. 2508, welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome. I'm going to be slamming Pedialyte tonight because... because, man, I today was the opening season for me, baseball. And it was like 100 degrees. So... so yeah, played a game of baseball in 100-degree weather as a nice old man, and I'm just like, I'm feeling it. My head's just it's nuts. Thanks, babe.
Dude, it was like 96 degrees here in Minnesota, and that's like apocalypse almost for us.
It's honestly, it feels that way right now. It's everybody's inside, like nobody's doing anything, and when you walk outside, you're just like, you get smacked with it. It's just right in your face. You're just like, it's so hot out here.
Yeah, you need to like recalibrate. Like, oh, geez, like you just got punched or something.
Yeah. So Glory's asking how the totem fragment's treating me. Well, right now it was a cost, not a benefit. So, but,
no.
I did, I guess I was just kind of goofing around looking at some stuff, but I did, this week, I started looking at the auction website, and I was kind of goofing around with some of these things. Ooh, this big one's going to come down in 10 minutes, so the Runic Sky Chunk at $200 right now. You can buy it now for $500 for the black foil. But
that's not bad if, we'll see where it ends up, but
yeah, I'm actually going to leave that there. We are going to see how that ends up because just kind of watching this and seeing, shout out to Infidel. He did a good job, highlighting this show or highlighting this website and kind of how it functions. He put a quick video on it. And so right at the very end, there's going to be some shenanigans. Everybody's just going to kind of save one bet for right here at the very end. They're all just gonna throw it in, and whichever one sticks, that's the one. That's the one they're going with. So
can you put in like a max bid then, or? Well,
and I guess that's
you just have to outbid the current price.
You just got to outbid all the other bids that'll end up coming in, right? So at the very end, what'll end up happening is because they're all coming in at once and being processed at once, you just got to be the highest bid at that point. So for sure over this, but then you're also kind of guessing where is everybody else going to land. So
okay. One
of the things that I did, I guess, I was just kind of goofing around with this, but they do totems occasionally. So right here. And there's an epic totem fragment right here that's gonna come down in a day and 3 hours. Its current bid is 100 DEC, right? So a bunch of junk. I don't know why anybody's even goofing around down here, but none of that's gonna happen. So in a day and 3 hours, there's gonna be a final push here at the end. And so one of the things that Infidel kind of highlighted was, you essentially kind of go check out the bids and kind of really set your floor and expectations around that. And if you're lucky, you can buy stuff below an active bid, and you can just go flip it right away if that's the game that you wanted to play. For me specifically, I was kind of looking at it, and I'm like, there's a big difference between that and the low price of $40. So in my head, there was essentially $15 worth of playroom there. If I purchased it at the low bid price or at the high bid price, I will always have something that I could just dump into. You know what I mean? Especially totem fragments. In my head, there wasn't really a lot of risk in that. I feel like that floor, that bid on totem fragments is pretty sticky. But Anyway, so yeah, worst case, I drop it in on the high bid and just get my money back. But then other than that, I kind of just undercut the market by 10%, and we'll see what happens if it ever kind of comes up. But yeah, it was just the one that I was looking at, and we'll see. I mean, if it kind of pays off, maybe it'll be something interesting. But for me, I would like to see more. It almost seems pretty good to put some liquidity on these black foils, right? Because this one will sell for something, and we'll see where that ends up and whether or not that was worth it. But like, this was a pretty big. This is like a chunk of 100 nightmare packs. This is a pretty big chunk of land. It looks like a legendary occupied land plot.
Oh yeah.
Going for $545 right now. Buy now price is $2,000, so lots of wiggle room in there. It's currently doing SPS according to this, but track 8 plot 61.
Okay, so there is a reserve price, but that's already been met for that plot.
Ah, that makes sense. So that's like the lowest they're willing to take.
Right.
Okay. And then there's like this other function here. I didn't know so much about the bid pays, but yeah, I thought it was something cool. I guess for me personally, I would like to see maybe some max level modern cards end up on here at some point. Right now, I don't know. I'm not really going for single BCX old stuff. You know what I mean? The totem fragments, I actually think, is a pretty interesting approach. Like, if you can get these totem fragments at bid price, or I mean at, like, let's say worst case, even if I did that, I don't know, 10 more times, and I got an epic totem at that, like, aren't the epic totems pretty expensive? Yeah, right now the epic totem itself is $222 for the low price. And then how many of those do I need to combine?
That's what I was just wondering.
Let's go find out. I wonder if it's 10. If it's 10, then I'm screwing myself, and I'm wondering what that high bid's for. I might just dump into that high bid. But
I don't think it's 10. I think that's only for common, and then it starts going down.
All right,
but I can't remember. I haven't looked at it in so long.
Land, production, artesian quarter, crafting, artifacts, epic totem. 6. Okay.
Ah.
So worst case, $150 worth of fragments to, do a 200. Maybe that item will sell better than the fragments themselves. I don't know. But like, there's enough of those that kind of show up. Those are nice little one-ofs that I think are pretty interesting. I don't think there's generally a lot of liquidity on those. Or I mean, not liquidity, but traffic on those.
Yeah.
So, like that, maybe getting these at a price is maybe what would, oh goodness gracious, got my Pandora playing. I was like, what was that? Maybe this gets somebody like me into like totem fragments and stuff like that, because I'm not generally gonna go to the market and go spend that kind of money on this stuff, but at a severe discount, one at a time every week or something, maybe I will, because Lord knows I'll never pull them.
I can't even pull any fragments anymore, I don't think.
In a year and a half, I've pulled one common totem fragment, and I was just like, I have a keep. It's just, it ain't doing it for me. It ain't doing it. But
see, I don't have a keep, so I can't even get anything, but that wouldn't matter even if I did. No.
So Glory is saying he can't believe somebody hasn't made a bot to take advantage of the bid pay thing yet. Maybe you can explain what the bid pay is, because I'm not entirely sure. I think you get some portion of what, I don't know exactly what that means. There's a note up here. When you are outbid, you earn 5% of the amount you increased the price by, from the outbidder. A similar amount will be deducted from your bid when you outbid others. Keep in mind, there's a reserve price. So like, this first bidder received 15,000 DEC. They were refunded and received an extra 15,000 DEC for being outbid. What?
Huh.
So, but they had to pay that 15, and then they got 5 of it back from this one, but they have to pay the bid pay price. So it's like they owe, I wonder, that must be added. So like, I wonder if they actually had to pay 555,000 DEC, 5,000 to the previous bidder, and then that's interesting. So like, it definitely, there's no risk being the first bidder then on the bid pays.
Right.
All right.
You even get a little something.
Let me go find the first bid. Let's go do a quick run here to the end. Did we do it? Nope. Everything's got a bid. Darn it, not gonna make it. But yeah.
No.
Yeah, right here. But yeah, first bid was real low. But yeah.
Yeah, you just bid 200 DEC and then you get 10K back.
I don't think that was 10K. I think that was
10.5.
10.5. Yeah, but just made a penny for not really doing anything. I think that's probably, I think you're right. That might be interesting. But
yeah, just make a bot to bid first time something pops up.
Yeah. People's Guild says hard pass for me. I'll wait until an in-game DAO auction site comes aboard. Yeah, no, I could agree with that. I would almost more argue that, like, if you use this one, then that's a proof of concept that we need it. You know what I mean? Like, if this actually drives value or drives interest, then it would just kind of prove that one is entirely necessary, for sure. Rogue and Mondroid, what's up, Druid's Blood? How are you, my friend? Oh, so it isn't that much then. Never mind. I wouldn't be worth it. People normally don't increase that much. I got outbid and got 0.55 TC. Oh, gross. It's like half of a penny. Ugh. Gross. But yeah, that was one of the things I did this week. I got another, I went after some more of those promos. I got some skinwalkers. I think I picked one up at level 14. I'm sorry, a 14 BCX. So picked one of those up off the market, and I still think this price below $1, I'm fine with that. And so I think I'm just gonna keep coming in here and snagging up, try to get my 115 BCX like gradually, because there's no way it can stay that way. You know, that ability is a fundamental ability of the set.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like I'm of the mindset right now that the cards that I'm trying to buy, I feel like I'm aiming for the out of print ones at this point. I don't think I'm gonna keep going after like random gold foil good prices or anything like that. I think I'm gonna stay away, honestly, from Conclave until like we get closer to outer print, or we get to more of like the ramp up in player base that we're thinking. Because the more that I'm kind of watching everything, I don't know if like, we kind of talked about it before. It was like, if we have the crazy growth in players, then Conclave Arcana will be the next Chaos Legion, right? And
Right.
so I'm kind of looking at that and I'm like, you know what? Like, we've talked about it before, and it was like, I keep looking at those untamed cards and I'm like, I think I want the untamed cards. I can just go there, buy a max BCX at like a real good price. Fits generally with what my collection is doing right now. And that's kind of really where I'm leaning towards right now. But what about you? You done anything purchasing wise this week? Or
ran out of money, dude.
Yeah,
so
well,
I've just been chilling. But I'm starting to think because I might have to just sell some stuff.
Mhm. Well, that
Some
was what
other
I was
cards.
wondering. If are you still on the love for the black foils? Like, are you still trying to keep those? Or are we trying to move them now? Or are we waiting for the conflict announcement? Like,
Probably gonna keep those for the conflicts, but I'm thinking some of my extra stuff.
okay.
Because otherwise, I just don't know how I'm ever gonna get what I need still.
Mhm.
And like you said, some of that, like, rebellion, whatever, that we're waiting on new players, and it's like, it might be waiting a while, so...
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm looking through my collection, and sadly, I think where I've made my mistakes in the past, and like where I make my mistakes pretty frequently, is trying to judge, and like I've tried to predict market movements before they happen, right? So I'm sitting on a crap ton of the Warden, the Raven Hood Warden from the reward set from Chaos Legion. Like, went ham into that. I think I own maybe 20% of the total circulating supply of that card, or something along those lines. But like, I own 20% of something nobody wants, so like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I own a gold foil Kulu Mastermind, paid 125,000 DEC for that, and I mean, who's gonna want that forever? Anything. I think there's only, I don't know, maybe 11 of these that were unlocked. So like, we're talking super rare, super scarce, but I don't know, not really. Like, nobody wants it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
the whole soulbound aspect is just real interesting, and then the no modern appeal. So like, those are two mistakes that, you know, I feel like I made in the last unlocks. But then also in Rebellion, like, one of the things, and I mean, I'm gonna say these aren't mistakes, they're just the timing of them, like, nothing worked, because, you know, the Raven Hood Warden is 1,000% like a bronze meta card. So in terms of driving value, that's really what should do it. But the Mariput Magician's another one. I've swept the floor on this thing, I don't know, many times. Like, I've got so many copies of this card, but it won't get off of this like 20 to 24 cent range. Like, it just finds here and stays here forever. So like, there's no appreciation on this asset at all for me. And so I'm like, looking at it, I'm like, man. And then the most recent one, the one that we literally talked about 5 weeks ago at this point, is the legendary summoners for flippin' Rebellion are not moving. And I'm like, they're going down. Like, why? In what world are the Rebellion legendary summoners going down? I don't know what's going on at this point. Like, I can't... All logic's out the window for me, because you know what? You and I are playing up in the top meta, and we know that this, like, these are the plays. These are the plays. And you can literally go get a max Arcane for $140 right now. I swept the floor on this thing and got all mine at, like, I don't know, maybe like $18 or something like that. Like, it was low, but like, it hasn't moved. And now, like, there, you literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players can come in here, max players can come in and just get great deals. I'm like, crap, man. Like, I just guessed wrong. And I parked, I guess, a lot of money into it, right? And so at this point, it almost, I'm just going to go back. I'm going to go back to the roots and go back to the play with my bags approach to like getting into cards. And so like I will buy what will be played with. You know, I'm not going to speculate on appreciation or anything along those lines. And so Rebellion for me, like, I still believe it will be the next Untamed, but I guess I'm not willing to bet money on it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel ya.
So I'm looking back at like the Untames and just all the cards that I've missed in the first, 4 years of history before I got here, right? And I'm like, you know what? I think those are the ones that I want to go for. That's where I think I want to max out a card, put it into my collection, and go from there. But
yeah, I mean, in some ways, going for the older cards makes sense. I mean, outside of not being playable in Modern, because they've already gone through their like main devaluation, since they're a wild card essentially. So if anything, they'd be like, a decent time to pick them up, because it's not like there's going to be a catalyst for them losing more value.
Yeah, I mean, they're already, I this has to be a floor. Can't think of another reason why anybody would dump older than that, but yep. Yeah, Glory says he can't believe how well the starter packs are selling. So yeah, let's go ahead and head over to Elmo Burns and go take a look real quick, because yeah, same thing. I mean, we're getting great sales. Yeah, yesterday. Big pumps in starters. So what do you think? Do you think those are farms coming online? Like, who's buying $3,000 worth of starter packs and not touching any of the normal stuff? Like, this is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Looking at the table here, we've got, oh man, where is just the list here? 107,000 starter packs minted. But with all of that, the price on these summoners will not come down. Maybe that's the play. Maybe the 3,000 is just being opened up because, in just the large numbers, these summoners are still like, they're still up there. They're all still up there.
I think that is what it is. It's just like you can actually turn a profit off starter packs. Like, how? Every time I've opened like 50, I've come out ahead.
How? 17,000 copies.
Well, I think that's part of the answer to the other question. Like, why not the Rebellion Legendary Summoners? And it's like, everybody's just going for... Yeah.
I mean, it's the Chaos Legion summoners all over again, right? Like, just like, I remember making that decision. Like, look, I'm not gonna go buy this older set because I'm gonna stay with the cheaper set, and I'm just gonna be the best that I can for a year and a half, and then when it rotates, I'll be ready. I just can't imagine the entire new body of players or whoever would really be going for that. So let's go with Avena here. So Avena's at 40k printed. I guess that's interesting. So Avena's 40k on the Prophet Rosa. And but when we're looking at here, we're actually still only at 17 on the Ulans. But realistically, I don't know, pack opening wise, maybe that's where legendaries and Alchemy's really just kind of skewed everything. We've spent more money on Conclave than we have on Rebellion now, right?
Yeah, easily.
More DEC was spent.
You can see it there on the Elmo burns, that 3.5 billion essentially.
Yeah. And there wasn't that much in Rebellion, right? Rebellion went...
No, not... Rebellion was only like 2.2, I think.
By the whole time, right?
Right.
So, we've spent... The community has purchased, not really at a higher price, right? Like the packs didn't get more expensive, but we've increased the sales by, I don't know, 50, 70% or something like that, right? But the rare summoners for the same amount, or for that much more DEC spent, is actually about a third of what the current print run of Rebellion was. Holy crap.
Oh, I think I was thinking of just the pre-sale. Look at chat. Bajangles has got the numbers.
Respect is mutual. You're the man, hombre. Yes, Druid's Blood is amazing. He really is. I think we're at like 75% of the way to Rebellion. No, Rebellion sold just shy of 1 million at $4. No, I guess you're right. It did. So, yeah, I mean, all right. So, yeah, let's just say over the course of the sale, we'll say, yeah, that's good math. We'll say we're pretty close. But we're nowhere near where, like, if this trends in this way, we'll be about half of the printed supply of rares with starter packs. I guess I did not anticipate that.
Rares are the new gold foil legendaries.
But they're in a $1 pack. Like,
that's why we're selling $1 packs, I guess.
We're selling $1 packs to, I guess, offset the lack of printing because of the other packs?
Yeah, because the alchemy pack took care of gold foil commons, essentially.
It really did.
And then the legendary packs took care of those, and then epics also got a boost from potions.
They did.
And so now rares are the hardest thing to get, practically.
I guess that was one of the biggest things that I've overlooked, is that one of the things that I really thought was going to happen with the black foils is that there was going to be a surplus of bulk cards on the market, because pulling a max card, you don't need all the other ones, right? But I think generally what we've seen is, like, just by offering a pack that is 3 times the value and 6 times the value of a standard pack, like, that really decreased the total cards in supply.
Yeah, I think so.
By, like, way more than I anticipated. And yeah, the starter packs are the offset of that. But I mean, I guess 1,000%. Like, that's why starter packs are really the way to go, because there's still such a lack of supply of those.
I know I still need some rares, a lot of rares actually.
And these are all, every single one of them, floors at $150 for a summoner.
And it depends when you look at it too, because like sometimes they'll all be close to $2.
Yeah.
When someone just scoops like 30 up,
Yeah, and I mean, the floor on everything else looks like it's kind of driving down, but I wonder if the other thing here, because your experience, and I think Jangles mentioned it too, talking about playing through on an alt account, right? I think what you guys were finding was that the floor, or I'm sorry, the amount of low-level decks that are playing up pretty high right now is significant, right?
I think so. My alt's already back in Champ 3, so it's like...
And yours is a silver Rebellion equipped, though, right?
Silver baseline with, like, Rebellion airdrops maxed, essentially. And reward cards.
Okay. So, because, yeah, big time, my very silver, very spotty modern deck is in high gold. So...
That's probably another reason why people haven't felt the need to go for, like, legendary Rebellion summoners, because, like, with the liquidity bots and stuff, you're getting pretty high already without, like, much investment, so...
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, because, yeah, I mean, maybe it is just kind of set up in a way where, like, the new players just don't even have to. I mean, I'm seeing the price. It's just the rare summoners that seem to be, like, super holding value in Conclave, because, like, even our legendaries are tanking almost at this point. Like, the fact that Shinlo, I think, was as low as 12, I think. Gray Brown was down to 10. Looks like somebody's trying to maintain here, but, like, these legendaries are nowhere near 20, you know, so that legendary pack now of, like, the $24 for, you know, there's not even really a super high steal here. It's almost like the starter pack is the most valuable pack that you can purchase right now because of the demand for those summoners specifically. But Haas, first time chat, thank you, brother. My not even max silver deck is playing in mid gold as a 2-month player. Dude, welcome to our game. Hey, you are the perfect perspective that we're looking for, actually, as we're kind of talking through and all this stuff. One, welcome to Splinterlands. Glad you made it, buddy. But yeah, like, what is your buying strategy? What are you kind of going for in this game right now? And what are you seeing, you know, as you're playing up? Have only one summoner at max silver and only commons in that splinter to support it. Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. Like, I'm glad that you're able to play that high right now. I know that YGG helped with that for sure, because when they swarm the bronze, like, it swarms the bronze. Like, you've that foundation, if all of bronze is literally just foundation and like single level stuff, even if it's just foundation, if bronze becomes just foundation cards, that's going to be pretty much like the new novice, I would say. Like, bronze just won't even exist, and it'll just push everybody up higher. So can't wait for Lil Hogger. I mean, yeah, I was shocked, honestly, when I saw that card. I was like, that's not how I remember it looking. But then, too, I'm like, that's a she? I was like, Lil Hogger's a girl? Jeez. But, yeah. No, we'll see how it ends up going, but yeah, I was just kind of, this is where I'm watching and observing right now, because it's not moving in the way that I expected it to move at all. And maybe it's because SPS rewards themselves, because, like, back then, and maybe that's the factor. The factor of all of it was just like, you wanted to win more because the rewards were broken, and so everybody was getting paid ridiculously. Maybe because we don't have a broken reward system, there's not really that push to be epic and to be, like, the best. Or maybe that's what removing the tiers did. Maybe that's what removing league caps did. You know, I guess maybe I can't
I'm
compare.
thinking that, and honestly, the leaderboards even changing to Glint. I mean, that killed it a lot for me. Like, I feel no reason to like spend and be, to try to be tip top competitive anymore.
Yeah, you're just kind of in this maintain mode, right? Like,
well, yeah, it's like, what difference does it make if I get 5th or 8th? It's like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, goodness gracious, that was a little bit of a rabbit trail on everything. Woof. We're already 40 minutes into the show, and we haven't talked about it.
It is funny to see, where it leads to.
It does. I mean, honestly, it's just one thing after another. You start looking at stuff. Our ecosystem is just, it's deep. It's deep, and I love it. It's entertaining, just from that perspective. It is super deep. But yeah, DA says I purchased CA Archons up to level 3 at first, and then $50 in starter packs. I spent my first month scraping up Glint and get commons and rare draws. I've spent a few hundred more on individual cards and a few standard packs that were super lackluster. Yeah, I mean, honestly, standard packs are super lackluster right now. I'm actually going to open one on stream because Glory over here in the chat got me started on something, and I was like, that's a great idea. And he quit like a couple days ago, and I'm still pushing on. But like, he started doing pack-a-day openings, and I was like, oh man, that's great. I'm going to start doing that too. And I just regret my decision. So, but we're doing it anyway. I'm going to do it for a while. We're going to open up.
I regret this ever happening, but I'm going to keep doing it.
Because when we pull that magical black foil, when we get the chase, it'll be real. But right now, it's not real. But, dude, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear. And then I guess, honestly, big question, DA, is how did you know how to do this? It sounds like your approach and everything that you're doing is very strategic and very educated. Like, you are going about it in a very good way. And so yeah, I'm just curious, where'd you learn how to do that? But yeah, can't wait for today's big brain talk. Honestly, it was great. I loved, we got some good involvement from the community. We got 4 posts. We've got Jangles, Glory, Bobcar J, and Emma Wanty. They all jumped in here and submitted some hashtag big brain plays. And Mondroid, being an awesome, wonderful human being, was like, you know what? I'm going to pay them all. So yeah, Emma, Bobcar, Faded Glory, not Jangles. You guys are all getting 1,000 DEC from Mondroid for submitting your big brain battles this week. So congratulations, guys. But yeah, we'll be going through those for sure. But yeah, Glory says, what? I didn't quit. I could scroll, bro. I think you're 2 days behind. I have passed you. Or you're not using hashtag Splinterlands anymore. You should always use hashtag Splinterlands because I literally filter off that, and that's how I just look at everything. But all right, good. Ank, welcome. Woody made it into the chat. Welcome, Woody. How is things? Someone sell me a legendary gold foil Taylor Swift. Yes, please. There was like 7 times that I like reached for that card, and I was like, that's not there. That one's not there. I needed that. But
in your tournaments?
Yeah, in the gold foil ones.
Yeah.
I tell you what though, playing Woody's account and doing gold foil tournaments, oh my goodness, I feel spoiled. Those things pay out so good. It's good. Fun. It is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. If I could just do those forever, like, days. I am feeling very blessed that I'm on that. But Bronze Dragon got me looking at it. Awesome. Good job, Bronze, man. Well done. Then also started watching some of the Gathering the Magic stuff. Sweet. Yeah, those are great guys. Great guys. Awesome. I'm glad you found your way to some good content creators. Glad you found your way here. And yeah, fully immersed, dude. If you're not following the People's Guild yet, make sure you kind of jump on with them. They do a podcast every week. They're great. Their Discord's pretty poppin', especially for new players. But yeah, it's a fantastic community. I'm glad you made it, brother. But yeah. I wonder why Mondroid's excluded me. He says that you just you didn't. It was a small brain play. Is what he said exactly.
He already got 1,000 DC worth of my compliments in a private message. So
yeah. So yeah, actually, let's go ahead and start running through some of these. I'm gonna actually start off. I'm gonna start off with mine, then I'm gonna go run it into Mondroid. So like, I wanted to show off like very first of the week. So we kind of talked about this last week. I think everybody is sleeping on Craniacs, and I have spent all week making sure that everybody feels the pain of Craniacs, and so this was like one of the first ones I was able to do. Based on these colors, I had identified, that essentially in red, you've got the gray play, and then in white you've got the Ulans. And so within those two, there was plenty enough that I was like, yeah, there's gonna be, especially this snipe, specifically the snipe rule sets. I've found that people are really leaning on Ulans in this because you can put your arrow bait right in position 2 and kind of build a semi-stronger team around that, knowing that like your snipe target's gonna die pretty soon, and you can actually play something pretty big up front and kind of work around that. So I knew exactly what my opponent was gonna do here and just ran, in my opinion, the standard Craniacs play. Run the Cave Wise and the Giraffe up front, fill in the middle with whatever the mana caps will allow you to play with, and then run your Craniacs at the very end and just watch a team like this melt. And I think what's fun about this for me is I don't think Splinterlands is entirely used to this level of control, because this whole team was set up to just go off of that. There were 2 resurrect, 3
You're
resurrect
all in
triggers,
right there.
all in. Were on arrowbait coming back 4 times, and it just didn't happen. So it's melted from here. This whole team is melted, and I absolutely love that we are here right now, because this is like a TCG classic here. When you straight stop your opponent from playing the game, it is the most control mage thing that you can do, and it feels great because my opponent overcommitted and I punished him for it. So that was Craniacs. That's what our new last stand ability, or not last stand, final, what do we call this thing now?
Final Rest.
Final Rest. But yeah, Final Rest. That's I use this all week, and I've got so many examples of punishing people for it. It is amazing. But
it's great when you pull it off. It's so satisfying.
It really is. All right, and then Mondroid, which one did you have queued up today? Let me go pull that one. All right, Mondroid. Oh, well, yours looks interesting too. So what did you do here?
Well, I was pretty much thinking similar things. I've got my Smith in the snipe spot for any Keelan gains, and then I got the Craniacs for Greybrow or Ulans, since everything's pretty much open in this match.
Mm-hmm.
And yep, it's just takes care of Greybrow.
Yeah, honestly, Greybrow in itself is just a the value of killing that thing and not having to deal with the resurgence, not having to deal with that 1 damage across the board. There's just a lot oftentimes that people will do is they'll build a rather squishy team behind it, knowing that it takes so long to get through that. And if you can get through that a lot quicker than they anticipated, it feels
And he's
so
gone.
good. Yeah. So then it's like in the standard mirror, like a cave wise does not beat a Greybrow. But when you take away that ability from Greybrow, cave wise rolls Gray. And so, you know, being able to build your team around that final rest and still having those tools, that's where it's like, I've personally struggled sometimes running all black teams with Craniacs. I actually really rely on red and specifically the cave wise to really be that front tank, like that in the giraffe. But yeah, for sure. But yeah, Woody says, I would never pay that price for a card again if they did Heloise dirty like that. Oh, because Tails is saying that it should have been Heloise. That's how we were testing it, honestly. When we were testing it, it worked. It worked. And so that's why they created that ability for Heloise, which was what, the final word? It's like final rest, final word, or last word, or something like that. Where,
yeah, his last word before it got changed.
Yeah, because that was that exact sentiment that you have right there, Woody, is why they had to do that. Me personally, I thought it was great, because at the end of the day, one of the things that we had done in testing was there was play arounds to all of that stuff. So like what I was doing was like I was running Craniacs, or I was running Heloise into Craniacs, but I was running Squirrel. And so I was actually targeting Craniacs in order to get it off the field so that my Heloise could just run train. That was working. Then we were countering that by running taunts further up in the line. So it was like there was a lot of, I don't know, back and forth. Like it didn't feel like it was the nail in the coffin for Heloise. But you know, because also, you know, at the end of the day, color-wise, it's locked. Currently, it's locked to black. And so that was just one of those where it's like, it wasn't so bad, but they really didn't want to deal with the backlash for that. So, but yep. So it's not a good look to bring out a card with those abilities and stats and then make him useless a few months later. I mean, yeah. Watch his price drop 70% instantly. I mean, yeah. But honestly, the price will drop eventually. You know what I mean? Like, there will always be an argument, especially like as the cards develop and everything. Like, overpowered cards won't be so overpowered anymore. But had Final Rest been introduced after HTH had a good few months to wreak havoc, I'd be game. Yeah. If you don't run Protect or Tofu Shield, you lose to Heloise. It is a feels bad play to win card. I wish I was that good with Heloise. There's a lot that actually I feel like counters Heloise. You got to really be in the right rule sets to run Heloise, in my mind. It's not like an auto plug card for me. What do you think, Mondroid?
Well, I don't have one, so I can't really say too much, but I do lose to it like a lot. I think there's a good amount of rule sets that you can put in where it's just like very almost impossible. Like even when you know it's coming, there's like just nothing you can do a lot of the time. Like say it's blast, whatever, and you just it's pretty rough. But I think we'll just have to end up giving her the Jotun treatment, you know. We'll have cards that are like designed to
you mean like
do
Craniacs?
well against her. Yeah, you know, like maybe Craniacs or
just not let it happen. Yeah. No, it does do a lot for its mana cost. I had a match today though that really scared the crap out of me, and that's the thing with Heloise sometimes. Is like you just completely, you get to the point, your Heloise is dead, your whole team's exhausted, they've only got like 2 monsters left, and like it can still screw you. I spent 14 turns in a row where my Dahlia was exhausted. And I was doing the math, and I'm like, that's not statistically, like, come on, stop. I just need this thing to swing once, and we'll be fine. You know, and it was just 14 turns in a row. It wasn't. And I was like, thanks, Heloise. But yeah. So Emma over here submitted a big brain play. Always running these silver level decks into diamond and overcoming higher level opponents. So, you know, this was pretty cool. I love anytime we're highlighting this Mary Putt Magician that I have many copies of, and I wanted to increase in price but didn't. So good job, Emma. But yeah, this was a good play. It's kind of running this sustain strat, running the heals, and then when the Magician drops into position 1, it's going to end up being a double heal up there. So this is definitely one of those strats that I've never personally used, but I love the concept. And this is one of those that, like, I haven't played in silver for so long that the thought of, like, double healing something with only 7 health, like, never crosses my mind as something that can be sustainable. But in 12 mana, double healing, yeah, let's roll with it. So, yep, just chunking away one at a time, and they can't do enough damage to get past the double heal. So, just finish it. Is it? Good job, Emma.
Yeah, I think I've done that like one time.
Right?
I remember doing it at least once, where it's like you get the double heal, tank heal plus heal.
Yep.
And I sent him 1,000 EC, so that's one down.
Good. I still have to send Jangles and who was the other one? Glory, you guys got to remind me. I didn't send you anything from last week, so I owe you something. So Bobcar J is talking about his big brain in Dawn. So I was highlighting this tank here, and I think this is another card that, in my mind, one, you're in bronze, so being able to run this Uland Overseer with a shield, you know, really, it is huge, and really for 11 costs, you wouldn't think that is so, like, that's in the upper leagues. This is oftentimes like too much mana for not enough value. But when you come all the way down to bronze, all of a sudden that value is huge because nothing down here is doing that much. So this thing sticks around forever.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I have not played much bronze, but it is funny, like, all my guys are shielded. It's kind of like the Immortalis, but for melee in archers, you know, like.
Yeah, dude, he's huge.
Doesn't take any damage.
There's no getting past him, you know. And then, like, you think when you spend that much mana on something up front that's not doing anything, then you're just not going to really have enough mana in the back to be, like, really driving any damage yourself, right? But no, in this case, you know, found the right cards, ran not a full team. This is another aspect where, like, you're making sacrifices here, running, you know, we're at 31 mana and only ran 4 cards. So, you know, that's usually a no-no, but when you've put enough into this can represent 3 or 4 cards in itself in value. So, like, well identified. Great job, Bob Carr. We got our boy Glory. Life Leech and Pain Forge were made for the Equalizer rule set. 1000%. 1000%. Anytime we get into this is exactly how I feel. Plus, I gave him bonus credit for running Craniacs, even though, like, it didn't do anything in this one, but it was still
it didn't hit anything.
I was like, this is an example of running, you know, ran it but didn't need it. So, you know, then we're just relying on the card for its stats. and it will be bumping up the Deep Delver during this. But Health Equalizer, it's a classic opportunity to make sure that you're getting your Pain Forges off, because, you know, everything with 10 health, you know, that extra damage everything's going to take to get bigger, you're going to get more value out of your extra attacks than you will off the 1 health that you lost in the Health Equalizer rule set. Way more this way. And so, you know, got 13 health on the Life Leecher right there, but our gnome up there is swinging for 6 now. Look at it go. What a beast. What a beast. Then even if that thing got through, there was like another 15 health back there you had to run through. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just running him for the 4 bomb. Nice.
That's quite a lot of damage in what was that, a bronze match?
Yeah, that was it was a tournament, and then yeah, it looks like it was bronze. Might have been the it was the conclave only bronze. So nice. Very well done. Very well done. So yeah, Haas says, what was Heloise the promo for? I sometimes the company just releases promos themselves. They were kind of highlighting a new auction system that they were running, and it was a cool new way for players to kind of purchase cards. And so they created this super crazy awesome card, only made 100 copies of it. 95 of them are in regular foil, 5 of them are in gold foil, already maxed out legendary. So it's a pretty top end card. Personally, I actually think it's unplayable outside of Diamond. So if you're a silver or bronze player, like, don't even worry about it. I think it's a very junk card down there. But once you get to max level, it's very oppressive and very good. But it was just something that they did for kind of the big dogs. But since I've been watching Sunday Night Gospel, I have been testing my luck in tournaments. It hasn't been pretty. Crap, Mondroid. We suck now. Like, he came to our show and he got confident and then just went into tournaments and got wrecked.
No.
We suck again. Darn it. All right, Glory.
Yeah.
We'll step it up.
Tournaments can be pretty serious.
They're good. They're really good. He says, no, I suck. You guys are fine. But you came here not to suck, and that didn't change. So, like, I feel personally offended by that.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll just keep talking about it. So last one we had was Jangles. Jangles submitted one that I actually really like. Although, like, he is getting very sassy, I would say. He's now 2 for 2 in submitting big brain battles against us. So it was me last week, and now it's Mondroid this week. So you're getting a little sassy there, guy. But, you could just highlight you playing somebody else, but no.
Right? Always picking on us. He's a bully, dude. He's a bully.
So Mondroid here went with a cryptic play on Kellyanne, though. So it's a target practice. Health equalizer, so he put his Kellyanne right here in the way of everybody. The increase in speed, no other speed manipulations, but blind, 6 speed, dodge, or no dodge, but backfire. Totally all right. But our boy Jangles over here, what he did was he parked this lookout right next to his snipe target, and his snipe target is real angry with magic damage. So, lots of return fire, but what'll end up happening is this card with the void and the lookout will actually take very, very little damage, and so it'll be very tanky here. It actually will only see 1 damage per hit from Keelan, but delivered 2 back or 1 back? Let's go see what that was. 2 back. Took 1, gave 2. Oh man.
So 7 speed against 1 speeds. No, there's a 2 speed in there and a 4. No, a 3. Yeah, I was hoping for some more dodges, but it just didn't happen.
Well, you got him.
And then
1, 2,
that lookout
3.
just
Oh, you
crushed
got
me.
Yeah, you got some. Oh wow. Yeah, you just got wrecked by all of those. But yeah, just the fact that like even if it continued forever, like that Keelan like was taking 2 damage while it was dealing 1. That's nuts. There's not really any situations that I've ever seen Keelan take more damage on the backfire than it's delivering. So yeah, that lookout combo.
Right.
It's nice that lookout is kind of ignoring what it's neglecting or what it's negating, and still reflecting like the full damage of what was originally coming. You know?
Yeah.
That was one of
So
my
it doesn't
biggest...
punish the deflection or reflection.
That's one of my biggest gripes with Force Field. You know, we had this ability in Chaos Legion that was called Force Field, and anything that attacked it that had 5 or more damage was reduced down to 1. And so if you put your lookout next to it, instead of, like in my head, that reduces, if you have 5 or more damage, it reduces it to 0. No, instead, if somebody had 5 damage, your force field guy is now taking 4 because you parked a lookout next to it. That seems like the worst flipping.
The anti-synergy.
Yeah, is literally the worst like coding in my life. I was like, there's no way you should be punished for parking 2 abilities. Jeez, that was ridiculous. But yeah, great job, Jangles. Actually, the lookout ability, I've actually been very diligent with that ability this week. There's actually been quite a few times when I've used the lookout specifically because ambush is a really big play right now, especially in the lower levels. So like Sinister and or Tails and Jangles are both in chat, and we both had conversations this week about matches where lookout just absolutely did some work. And so I've been really trying to mix lookout more into my play this week, because that lookout ability, I think, let me go find the one. Did do the one with Jangles. Where was that one?
Yeah, it's kind of like if Akane's open, if certain Rush Townsend in red, you can sometimes just throw the lookout in there, and then it's like, oh, cool, got some value.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's pretty helpful right now. And when you get into those snipe rule sets and all that stuff too, there's many situations. Venka is finding her way to Arcane matches, especially in the lower levels, and so yeah, anytime you're able to kind of sneak a lookout in there, it's it won't steer you wrong lately, that's for sure. But yeah, Ank says tournaments and brawls are my favorite. They're my favorite too, honestly. I like them. I like them a lot. But yeah, went and looked at the price increased. Yeah, that's not for you, buddy. Don't even be mad about that. That was one of those things, like, I didn't know when I came in. My first, like, when I clicked on the website and I went to the market, the first thing that I saw was a Prince Julian for like 50 grand. And I was looking at that card and I was like, oh, these people don't know anything about trading card games. Like, if that card is worth 50 grand, then I probably want nothing to do with this game, because that card was just, it's just a Dragon Summoner, 2 mana, alpha, do nothing. And, but, there's this whole collector's aspect to it that, let's see. What set was that? Was that alpha or was that like a promo?
I actually don't know.
Maybe it was a beta promo.
Maybe beta promo or...
There he is. Prince Julian. This card was like #1 on the market for like 550. Yeah, it was like 50,000 when I jumped in. I jumped in at like peak of the bull run, so like prices were ridiculous. But I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, why? I'm like, why are we spending this much for this? All right, I want nothing to do with this game if that's what we're doing. So I'm glad that you're seeing some obscene prices later in your career where you've got people that can talk you through these things. Found the hashtag Big Brain, very cool. Maybe I can make a Big Brain play to submit at some point. Yeah, this week. Make sure and any battle that you feel like you kind of predicted what your opponent was going to do and was able to do a counterplay to it, or you set up your lineup in a way where you comboed or express some synergies to a rule set, and you feel like you really kind of nailed that one. Go ahead and submit it, and just use the hashtag Big Brain and tag Mondroid and I, and we'll go ahead and comment on it, and we'll check it out. And yeah, if it's featured on the show next week, we'll send you 1,000 DC. All right. But yeah, the Druid's Blood says you bring in new players in where. Oh wait, hold on. All right, you bringing new players in Where is Blaze should give you packs for giveaways if you buy into the game and stay for a year. Lookout is so underrated. It really is underrated right now. And yeah, I'm with you, Druid's Blood. I think their Tales, like they talked about it on the town hall, there's actually going to be a pretty big ramp up for Twitch streamers here coming up. So, there might be some of that stuff in the works here coming up for anybody doing Splinterlands streams on Twitch. Maybe getting us kind of back to what we were doing when we were doing Splinterlands TV. Hell, maybe even relaunching Splinterlands TV. That would be huge. I would love that. I would love to go back to that.
Yeah, be fun.
But, yep. So, Glory says he finally rented Nidhogger. Let's go. And I am a fan now. Good. I mean,
not a hater.
Especially in bronze and silver, like Nidhogger is busted. It is so big. But are you buying and opening more packs, bro? Yes, he says he was. But yep. Saw the Fanatic, looks cool. Seeing y'all on here makes me want to revive my channel. Let's go. Dust it off, baby. Yeah, no, the Fanatics actually, that's going to be pretty interesting. I've always wanted a card exclusively for different tangent to game events or even like in-game events. Like specifically, I've wanted some kind of like tournament participation system to reward people in a way. Like one of the biggest things that I've always wanted is like your participation in how you do in tournaments. I would love it for it to be able to give you like an exclusive crafting type of foil that like you can accumulate enough of those, and then once you get to a certain amount, you can turn like a card into like a blood foil card or some unique tournament specific foiling. I would absolutely love that. Like, I think that would be some cool stuff. But yeah, I think that'll be a start in the right direction for that. But Mondroid, you had an article that you ran this week. One, actually, let me just make sure that everybody here knows, if you don't already, the People's Guild ran an episode with Mondroid this week. So if you have not gone and seen Mondroid talking on that, I don't want to rehash a lot of the stuff that he said, but he talked about a lot of ideas that he has, and Mondroid's got a real good head for like rewards, and specifically like incentivizing interactions and stuff along those lines. So he came up with quite a few good ideas that were on the show about like different types of glint items that we could have, and like how things could be structured in a way to drive, engagements and participations that we're looking for. So make sure you swing by there. But Mondroid, you had a post that you did this week. What was also, yeah, make sure you're following Mondroid on Peak D, because the dude writes, and he writes good stuff. So what you got?
So,
tracking your winnings?
Yeah, so this is like my every season I'll basically be doing one of these. And so this was for 160 that just finished.
Yep. So you were running, started with the main account. Wow.
Yeah, so I kind of go over my
wow.
setup essentially. Like, here's what I got.
Almost
here's
10,000 SPS. My man.
Yeah, I ended up doing a bit more battles. I got up to 468 on the main account there.
Yeah.
The top 10, 8th place. So
well done.
I was pretty happy with that, considering the state of my deck right now. And, there's some big boys out there. So 60% win rate.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
great.
So,
and you're running just also the main thing for like Mondroid's account is to consider that like he's running not fully equipped on the promos. So like even this deck, this deck is not a full deck. It doesn't have Heloise and it doesn't have a couple of the other promos. So yeah, he's playing his full optimized for him and what he can afford. So
yeah, Heloise, it was back at a time where, like, I don't know, I guess I'll just say I wasn't like as willing to dump that kind of money into the game for one card, so I made a decision to skip it. And then now it's like meta, you need it, but probably lose like 20 battles a season for not having her, or you know what I mean, like flip 20 battles
yep
out of the 400 whatever. So
yep. And then you
so there my best win was the second place in the Wild tournament of all things, which was surprising.
Wow. Yeah, great job.
And so that alone is a pretty hefty amount of SPS there, 2,300 essentially.
Yep. No, you ended up with 10 grand though, like almost 10 grand of SPS on the tournaments. Wow. Yep,
just from the tournaments on my main account, and like, so basically I actually got more from tournaments than I did ranked, which is maybe a first.
And I guess for your account, it actually, that would be odd for sure. But for the that's one of the things that I noticed, like scholaring Woody's account for tournaments and doing the Vorkus account for ranked, like the amount of work that goes into Vorkus for that SPS versus the amount of work that goes into Woody for like almost the same amount, if not more SPS. That's where like that gold foil appeal is a lot different than I expected. But yeah, tournaments are very rewarding right now. But what I am finding though is that there are some that actually aren't worth the time. So it's like one of the things that I guess I noticed here is, you've got this one at 31 or 53 or 139. I was wondering if you noticed, because one of the things that I'm tracking specifically is like when I'm looking at these, I'm actually tracking like an SPS per battle, and I'm trying to get an idea of like, all right, very frequently, like depending on if I do good or not, does it really matter? Is that payout still generally not at a level of SPS pay where it compares to ranked? Because if so, because my time's not infinite, like I can't do it all. I'm still trying to ramp up Vorkus's like amount of battles played in a season. And so what I'm finding is that there's probably some tournaments that are maybe even diamond tournaments that I just shouldn't be participating in, because the payout actually on a per battle basis just doesn't justify or compare to what like the payouts of ranked play does. So that's something that I'm paying attention to. Have you noticed any of that yet?
Well, yeah, there's certainly some lower paying ones, you know, like I don't enter a lot of the like Scarred Hand or whatever the conclave only ones essentially.
Okay. Yep.
Because they have like the lowest payout. Or if I do, I kind of take a different mentality with them where I'm just gonna slam the 10 teams, you know, and just be done with it. I don't try hard those ones. But yeah, I mean it's also, you know, there's some luck to it where it's like you just happen to have a bad run and miss day 2 by like a battle or something or a draw, and then you end up with a bad prize for it. But that's kind of just tournaments, you know, you gotta. And then sometimes you get second place in a wild diamond tournament, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But like, I guess, and that's really where it's like my data is showing me that like specifically the wild tournaments too. It's like even if I don't make day 2, like the payout still, even with just 1 day's worth of battles, is actually kind of worth it, right? It's just sometimes I think some of these prizes are just, you know, I'm really starting to be more diligent, but
yeah.
But yeah, so tournaments, you're at like 20,000 so far. So, and then looking, so this was the main, and it's higher than the 16,000 from 2 seasons ago. Okay. And then going,
yeah, that was definitely tournaments.
Yeah,
that made the difference.
Glory wants to know why you're not snapping, bro. Why you no snap?
That's for the young whippersnappers, man. I'm too old for that. I gotta write like 5,000 words or more, you know. I can't.
I mean, bless your heart, dude. I'm glad, honestly.
Walls of text only.
Because honestly, I view it as like an effort thing, because like some of the people that I admire the most in this game are not snapping. They're all doing, you know, the full-fledged like posts, and they're being rewarded for it too, right? So, but like, yeah, like Tofu's not coming over and doing any snaps. Beaker's not doing any snaps. Like, they're all still, Azracon's not doing any snaps. And so I'm like, man, you're making me feel just like lazy over here. I'm just like, oh, I want to be on a blockchain social media too. Like, put my non-value snaps out there.
I had no idea what it even was until you were talking about it, like whenever we did our first or second show.
I mean, honestly, in my mind, this fits me better anyway. Like, I like snaps because, you know, I get on like once or twice a day, scroll through, see what everybody's doing in Splinterlands, you know, that wants to share, look at the battles, comment, and just engage there. Reading full thought out posts, I just like, I don't, nope, never been a newspaper guy. But yeah, I understand though that it hasn't, especially on Hive, it hasn't kicked off yet. Like, snaps are, there's not too many snaps going on. We'll go look at the specific here in a minute, but I want to finish this. So then Thugan was at $4,000, which is lower.
Thugan went down pretty significantly this season, or last season, so that was kind of interesting. And I don't know if it was, like I talk about in the article, is like, I don't know if it's because more people started maxing more of their Conclave Arcana. And my deck is like somewhat limited, you know, but yeah, it's definitely lower.
No, okay. We'll see if that kind of changes it at all. So your tournaments were higher though, so
yeah,
that silver stuff was just doing real good. All right, so then here we go. So you ended up 10% higher than you were last season, and you still are on that. Look at you. Viewers of the audience, Mondroid made another $250 last season. Well, buddy.
Yeah. Now at SPS is a bit lower than that, I think. But
oh crap,
the markets haven't been doing so well lately. But yeah, no,
honestly, I just look at the SPS value. You know what I mean? You're right. It's 270, and then there's $300 there. Like, that's, I don't know. I'm still at a penny in my head. Like,
Well, that's kind of how I look at it too, because I'm actually thinking now that I might just sit on what I have and then just wait till 7th edition comes out and sell, or not sell, but probably burn and then buy into that pre-sale. You know what I mean? Like if I just hold every SPS I get from now until then.
Yep.
And then just use it all on that pre-sale. It's like, assuming SPS kind of does its thing where DC's at peg and SPS is back at like 1.50 cents or something,
Yep. Jangles is calling out to get you that honey puff summoner.
Oh man, that would be awesome, but I don't know. I mean, I don't see any way. These guys are going like 50,000 in now,
Yeah, this last floor, that was a high floor for a summoner, that's for sure. But dude, no, congratulations. Right. I think this was after you did the first article. This was one of those where you were like, is it sustainable? And you increased it by 10%. So like,
yeah, now this one I'm like, this isn't sustainable. But we'll see.
But yeah, no, I mean, honestly, if you stick around this, like, I don't know, between the 25,000 to 30, like that's pretty good. All right, how are you still doing? You think like general time commitment and everything running 2 accounts, you still happy with that, or are you thinking you want to curtail in some ways? There's things that like we talked about, like one of our big struggles that we have right now is we're trying to figure out how to just get more battles in without like tying up so much of our time, because one of the things that we have to compete with is scholars who are essentially doing this like full time, and they're able to log some battles. So like if you look right here, currently in this season, like we've already got people at 507, 281, 353, 376, 495. Mondroid, where are you at?
Oh, I'm playing terrible this season. I'm probably way down there.
You're good. 20. But you're
20th,
at 220.
okay.
You're at 220, so like literally half of some of these battles, and so one of the things that we're trying to figure out, I think I'm at like 200 or something.
Like 578, 429.
So one of the things that we're trying to figure out is like how to efficiently do this, and we tried to not watch the battles, and that just doesn't work. I can't not watch the battles. I love the game. I love the game too much. So like I'm still watching battles. I can't get out of that.
Yeah, on my alt, I'm a little better at skipping them because I kind of just make the same plays over and over on that account since it's more limited. I just like slam that team and then, I'm screwed, or I can win this one. And then it's like, yeah, skip.
Yep. No, so I think that's one of the main things that we're trying to figure out is we're trying to figure out how to do it more efficiently. But that's where go watch the People's Guild, because that was one of the awesome things that Mondroid had kind of brought up in that episode, was this concept of like the 5x bet button, or the 5x energy button, which I thought was a really cool concept, honestly. I thought that was specifically for like the Bulldog situation, or for like Woody. I think Woody had mentioned too that like he's in a spot with his investments that he's like, I need to get more battles in, and being able to run a single battle that consumes 5 times the energy but gives you 5 times of the reward, or even if 2, 3, 4, whatever, like some increment, like that's pretty cool. Like I think that's actually a really good solution that you kind of came up with there. I thought that was smart.
Yeah, like if you want to risk it and you've got energy but you can't really spend it all, you can just, like you said, put 5 on a battle, and then if you win, 5x the rewards. So it just kind of speeds up like what you would need to do, and either use up more energy, buy more, or Yeah,
because realistically, we make 24 energy a day, right? And so like that's 24 battles a day. Or with this, you can chop it up. Maybe that's 12 battles a day, or maybe that's 4 battles a day. There's different ways that you can now kind of chop it up to fit your ability to play the game without having to feel like you need to go out. So I thought that was real smart. And yeah, I think the main thing to make it non-exploitable is just to make sure that you don't know your opponents beforehand. Yeah, that might be. Oh, your rating just kind of has to also rise and fall based on the X value that you're going with, or else you're more incentivized to use less energy early and then more energy later if your rating doesn't change to match your energy use. You know what I mean?
Yep, like 100 swing either way.
Yeah.
If you're betting 5.
Yeah. And I feel like that would be fair. But no, congratulations, Mondroid. Well done. I real quick before we get off, I am gonna go run and buy a pack of cards, and I'm gonna try to do some streamers luck here. I am using Elmo's burns now for purchasing assets, and then cards. I don't think I'm doing anything cards wise yet with Elmo's burn, or no, I did buy, but I'm still using. That's kind of where I feel like it's cheating. I love the reward system here, but I don't like the full. I've been using peak monsters for so long that this is just the view that I like to look at everything. So it's almost kind of feels like it's not fair. Like I'm shopping on peak monsters, and then I'm pushing the buy button in Elmo's burns.
Oh yeah, I've done that too, where I'm like, okay, here's what I want to buy, swap to the other site.
So yeah, Elmo's burns has got just a lot of stuff going on over here. Their buyback or their DEC return and all that is good, but then also, their market fees and everything that they're doing, they're flipping into burning SPS. So they've got a fund tracker and everything they're doing with that, and so we're gonna buy this. Yay! Purchased a pack. So then yeah, when you look at when you go to the home, they've got essentially this SPS burning tracking that they're doing, top donors, and then they've also got total burns and all that. But wait, what? Oh, I need 100 to get this one, bro. Paywalls, man.
Bro.
Paywalls. So where's the one? What do I need? Where are you at? There was one thing I wanted to look at here. It was like it was this one, I think, is the one that I wanted here. Support project? No, that's not it. Darn it, it had specifically so Elmo Burns itself has burned 13,000 SPS at this point, and it's been running through man, why can't I see that? It essentially, yeah, so it's done a bunch of these cycles. Oh, sorry, it's burned almost 1 million SPS. And so what it does is it burns, generates the DEC, buys the SPS, then burns, generates, buys, burns, and it does this cycle many times to just continue to burn SPS and mint DEC, right? So the cycles, it's done it 16,000 or 1,600 times at this point, and so everything that you're doing, market fees and anything like that, just goes into this pot and just keeps that little burn engine going. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So now
it's pretty cool.
I like it. Now let's go open up my pack. My pack's not there.
Come on, baby.
Oh, I don't have. Oh, because I spent all my. Oh man. All right, hold on. Pause.
It's like, hey, you're a poor
It
person.
did. It did. It did. Called me poor. All right, let me just get this liquid SPS over into Hive Engine. Go do some shenanigans over there. I gotta buy a pack on stream, and I gotta try the streamer's
Trying
luck.
to get the streamer look.
I need it. I need it because it has not been going. It's not been going well.
All right, but if the stream gets you a Black Foil Arcane Legendary,
Don't you say it. Don't you say it. Not doing that. This is mine.
oh,
This is mine. Alright.
Tails, you got something going on?
Uh-oh. What's he got?
Pushing some details soon.
With who?
Schnoots. I don't know.
Who's that guy?
The guy who made Elmo Burns, I think.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was definitely one of those where I was just kind of like on the outside, and like all this stuff is happening and everyone's making cool stuff, and I'm just like, oh crap, no. Is that enough? That's not enough DEC. Ah, hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on, I'll figure this out. What else do I gotta sell? Gotta unbolt the I gotta sell everything to get this last pack. I forgot about the no, maybe I'll just maybe I'll just screw the just throw that epic totem right into that. That's what I'm actually should I do? No, I'm not gonna do that. I
What
should
do you
do that.
need? 1400 or so?
I do. Hold on. No, I think I should. I should be alright.
Alright.
Maybe. Alright, I just gotta wait for Hive Engine here. But yeah, met with Shields earlier this evening, and we'll be pushing some details soon. Ooh. On your videos, are you gonna do a video about it? The option for external shops is really cool in SPL. Yeah, I mean, anybody can take the code and kind of build their own stuff on it. And like, that's the cool part about all these rewards, is they're not just like made up numbers. Everything is built in the system where like, if you built it and they bought it from you, you get a certain percentage of the market fees. And then it's up to you to decide what you want to do with those. So like some of the websites in the past do the like DEC kickbacks, because that you know, obviously, you know, if I can get like 2% of my DEC back every time, like I'll do that. You know, buy 50 get one free all day. Let's go. But yep, what's been my best pool so far? In Conclave Arcana, I think the best pool I got was I got a gold foil. It wasn't like a super good pool, but I got a gold foil, the rare elf. Where are you at? Goodness gracious. Yeah, there she is. The Silverleaf Mage. Got a gold foil of her, and this was, yeah, she was like a $7 card. But that's the best I've gotten. I haven't like no, yeah, that was the best I got. Haven't gotten anything better than that. But we're still chasing. We're still chasing.
Still chasing.
Yeah. Oh, since starting a pack a day, yeah, I don't know, Razzie might have been the best thing.
Just a Razzie.
Just a Razzie.
A regular foil Razzie.
Yeah, it has not been stellar. So, oh man, I think I am like a couple hundred DEC short. I can convert credits to DEC, right?
No.
Hey Mondroid, can I borrow 1,000 DEC?
That's what I was kind of getting at. Like, how much do you
pay you
need?
back, bro. Promise, man, I'm good for it.
Just need another pack.
I just need one, man. The chase is real.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to break your arms if you don't pay me that 1,000 DEC back.
If you give me a pack today, I'll give you 2 packs on next Thursday.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
All right, you know that reference, right? That's the old cartoon. It was like the hamburger guy. He was just always like, he's like, oh, could I have a hamburger today? I'll give you 2 on Tuesday. He was like always that guy that was trying to buy outside of his paycheck. And like as a grown man, I'm just like, why is that on like a children's cartoon? That there's like this, character that is the reason why like fast cash check advanced places exist. I'm just like, oh jeez. All right, so now I has the monies.
Now you got it.
Now I can go buy the thing. Sorry, Elmo's Burns, that you had to stop me and call me poor. Didn't it? I thought it said I successfully purchased one. But then I did see something pop up that said like I didn't have enough DEC, so I don't know. Might have been a bug. Oh man. So Haas is saying, is there a better rate swapping in Hive engine than burning? Yes, 1000% right now. While DEC is not at peg, there isn't a reason to burn SPS for DEC. The swap will always give you more DEC than burning, while DEC is not at like 1,000 per dollar. So, yep. Yeah, there you go, Wimpy. DA knows, Wimpy. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Exactly. Cracked 2 gold foil shock troopers out of a major chest. Well, let's go. Well done, dude. All right. Nice. Let's get this pack. Let's get this packed open. Oh,
getting those kids ready for the life of hamburger debt.
All right. Yabba's Pickle is in a day and 15 hours. Okay. Perfect. So that's gonna be Tuesday afternoon, probably after. Yeah, Tuesday afternoon after the update. It's gonna be Yabba Pickle time. Good, glad I clicked on that. All right, got my black foils, got my potions. Let's do it. Touch.
Over.
Black foil. The chase. Oops. I had my mouse over something. It wasn't good. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. No.
Gonna need a black foil here.
No. Hey! Alright. We'll take a gold foil archer koi. Hey, yeah. Annabella. Alright. I actually think that one I might not have lost money on that one. Go check out the Explorer. Again, another
hey! No, I think you came out ahead on that one, my dude.
Ooh, yeah, buddy. All right, finally, first pack. Hey, Glory, best thing I've pulled in a pack since it was a gold foil archer koi. No, that's a good pack. So, yeah. All right, guys, it is 10:15 at night, and it is time for bed for me. I am absolutely exhausted. Mondroid, you got any
Pedialyte, dude?
I do. I need it. I'm dehydrated. This stream is officially not sponsored by Kroger brand Pedialyte. Mondroid, final thoughts this week?
Shoot, man, I don't know. Thanks for hanging out. It's always fun. I'll see you next time.
Yeah. No, we appreciate you guys being in the chat, being very active. This was a very active chat this week. We appreciate you. DA, welcome to the game of Splinterlands. Thanks for stopping by this evening and introducing yourself and hanging out with us. If you have any thoughts, concerns, questions, we are very easy to find. So, you know, we're very accessible to all. But yeah, this week, pay attention to your lookout abilities and try out Craniacs, because Craniacs punishes hippos for sure. And if you have a graybrow problem, Craniacs can help. But other than that, sneak in some lookouts, stop some ambushes, but enjoy the game of Splinterlands, my friends. We're halfway through another season, and we got pickles on Tuesday, so we'll have to show each other our pickles next week. Phrasing.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Cheers, my friends. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
See ya.